Dun 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 dun.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm John Boardman. I'm here with Mitchell Saltzman. We're here to talk about Negan in Tekken.
Little pig, let me in.
This was kind of a surprise over the weekend from Evo, and I am really interested to see what your thoughts are about Negan being in Tekken.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm actually not I'm not the most knowledgeable about Negan. I haven't really watched Walking Dead. My knowledge of Negan really comes from social media and just seeing GIFs and stuff of the character on social media. But as far as being a guest character in Tekken, if you look at Tekken's history of guest characters, you have Geese Howard from the King of Fighters series, and this is a character who makes sense in a crossover with Tekken. And then you have Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, which is completely out of left field. And now we have Negan, who is similarly just completely
Feels like he's not even the same
no one would have possibly
ballpark.
expected it.
Right.
Yeah.
What exactly are you proposing to be done about it?
I am a big fan of The Walking Dead, and I found this to be kind of a surprise too, especially because they're using Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Negan instead of the comics Negan. I kind of understand that because Tekken has more of a realistic look rather than relying on the comic, and they want something that people can instantly recognize from the TV series. But as far as the martial prowess between the two, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Negan is a little bit slimmed down. He is a little less rough and tumble. He just picks up a gun every once in a while and swings a bat, where the comics Negan is really willing to get in there with his fists and beat the hell out of somebody. And I'm kind of curious how you see Negan translating into the Tekken series.
Yeah, so from what I would imagine this is not a character that's going to be messing around with a lot of air combos, a lot of flippy jumps, or anything like that. I think he's going to be a bruiser. I think obviously his moveset is going to be centered around Lucille, his bat. So I envision a lot of really powerful, maybe slower hits that knock enemies into the wall and are really good for wall bounce setups. Stuff like that. Maybe like overhead hits that bounce enemies up into the air with the bat. Maybe some ground and pound. That's kind of how I would envision this character being. And it's a character that, of course, like I haven't seen all that much of. I don't even know of him as a fighter. So yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see where Bandai Namco goes with this. It's funny. It's interesting actually. Harada-san actually made a tweet a while back asking what guest characters people would want to see in Tekken. And there was one person I saw that did say Negan, and he replied back to it saying, with Lucille, and then he laughed, and then he was like, haha, I think unfortunately they might be a little too weak to be in our game, but that's an interesting choice. And here we are now, Negan is in Tekken 7.
Yeah, I'm also curious about how Lucille is going to work into the fighting. I think that it'll probably give him a bit more reach because it is an extension of his character. But I also wonder how much gore that is, attributed to this character and how much violence is going to be there. I mean, obviously it's a fighting game, there's going to be violence, but Negan is a character known for bashing another character's head in. I just wonder how that's going to translate into Tekken, which is,
traditionally not a super violent game.
No.
Like there's not it's not Mortal Kombat. And actually I wonder if Ed Boon is somewhere like shaking his fists at the sky like, oh, you scooped Negan before we did.
All right, well, for everything Walking Dead and everything Tekken, stick with us right here on IGN.